Hello and welcome to another Havoc Sons inside the Tandy computer series of videos. Today I'm going to be looking at my MMPC Model 10. In October of 1991, when the newly formed MPC Marketing Council inaugurated the Multimedia PC in New York City, the council dubbed it the day computing changed. Led by Tandy, a series of computers were released to a new MPC standard. Equipped with new architecture of sight and sound, by 1994 over 4 million add-on sound cards had been sold. These new computers came with high-resolution video and CD-ROM drives. Hardware and software companies rushed to saturate the market with MMPC standard products. Multimedia was to become a huge success, but improper handling of this newfound architecture again sped Radio Shack to lose its foothold on this blossoming technology. Shortly, Radio Shack would sell all their interest in computer manufacturing to AST. But before that happened, in this man's opinion, some of the coolest computers that anyone would be lucky to own were built by Radio Shack, or their partner at the time, AST. There was the 3100, the 425, 450, the MMPC 10, and the MMPC 20. And then there was the very rare Tandy Sensation. Still looking for one of those. These were the last of the once great Tandy line of computers. Here is my Model 10. The Model 10 is very similar to the 3100, the Model 20, and the Tandy Sensation. The Model 10 is fully upgraded with the DX266 CPU and 64 megabytes of RAM and 1 megabyte of video RAM. She's running a 512 meg hard drive with 52 speed CD-ROM and a Sound Blaster 16 sound card. This Model 10 came to market Christmas of 1993, the same year AST purchased Radio Shack Computer Division. By 1994, Radio Shack commercials on TV were beginning to promote AST models only. Stock, this model had the Intel 486SX. With some dip switches adjusted, you could run up to a DX266, which I have here. I also added a CPU cooler. I added another fan here to try to give it more air. And as you can see, I've got the 16-bit Sound Blaster sound card. The computer came available with 3 slots. One of them is taken up by the sound card. The other one is taken up by a 16-bit network card. And then you can see that there's another slot available where I had a 56 baud modem in it. Probably will put it back. I may use this computer to run my bulletin board service once I get that up and running. Now, when Radio Shack bought Victor Corporation, their computer division, I see similarities between this and the Victor 300, at least the footprint and the layout. Whereas the side panels come off as this one does. You can kind of see this here. This bolts on this way. And then you have this panel, which bolts on this way. There's a brief explanation on how this panel slides forward, and you can remove it. And then this panel has the dip switch layout, which is very helpful. In part 2, I'm going to go over the basics of the software that's installed in it. But for today I just wanted to show you the insides and some of the other extra points to this machine. I have 1 meg of video RAM installed in it. It also has 64 megs of RAM installed on the board. You saw that earlier. You know, it's kind of unusual to explain just what was happening. By 1992, Tandy was feeling the weight of drops in sales. By 1993, they were scrambling to do whatever they could to try to change that. By 1994, the writing was on the wall, and they had already sold to AST. Even though this computer and some of the other models that I mentioned earlier were actually part of AST's manufacturing, it wasn't until the end of 1993 that you saw only Tandy on their computers. By 94, like I said earlier, even the commercials were talking about AST as their new computer for sale at Radio Shack. Something else that I wanted to talk about too briefly is this computer was a fully, let me adjust this real quick. This computer was fully MPC compatible. The MMS10, try to say that 10 times fast, was actually designed for the MPC profiles that were coming out at the time. And like I said earlier, even though Tandy was spearheading this, they had already lost their edge on the computers that were coming out. And it wasn't soon after that there was really no more computers being sold by Radio Shack. The nice thing about this, these actually sound pretty good. You'll have your woofer down on the bottom here. Pretty nice foot pedestals that hold it in together. You have your 2 front speakers here. There's a volume, tone, balance, and you can mix any inputs that you put on it. Your inputs could come in here, and you had also speakers that you could also add to this. By flipping this switch over, you can run external speakers. So it was a pretty nice little setup, and it actually did well with this computer. Even though the Model 10, the Model 20, and the Tandy Sensation did not sell well, I really like these 486s. I think they're a great computer. They run all of the software that you would expect a 486 to run. They're very stable. If you can get your hands on one of these, I would do it. They're backwards compatible to a lot of the DOS software that's out there, older stuff, older DOS games. To me, I feel they're one of the best in the Tandy line, at least from a retro point of view. Like always, thanks for watching. You have a great day and a better life. See ya.